Hello everyone. Welcome to first lecture session on module number 4 under automobile engineering subject. The module number 4 in that first chapter is superchargers and turbochargers. In this session I am going to explain the concept of naturally aspirated engines, forced induction engines, supercharging arrangements. For this chapter, I am referred Automobile Engineering textbook by Dr. Kirpal Singh, Volume 2. Coming to naturally aspirated engines. Naturally aspirated engines is an IC engine in which air intake mainly depends on atmospheric pressure. As you already know, as the piston starting moving from top dead center to bottom dead center, inside the combustion chamber, suction pressure is generated. This suction pressure is always less than the atmospheric pressure. So, whatever the atmospheric air is present, due to that pressure difference, try to enter into the combustion chamber through the air filter or carburetor. If you use CI engine, air will be entered into the combustion chamber through the air filter. If you use SI engine, with the help through the carburetor, air and fuel mixture enter into the combustion chamber. That is given here. In naturally aspirated engines, air or air fuel mixture is drawn into the engine cylinder by atmospheric pressure, acting against the partial vacuum that occurs as the piston travels downward direction. In naturally aspirated engine, the power developed is mainly depend on amount of air introduced into cylinder per cycle. Second one, degree of utilization of the inducted air. Third one, the engine speed and the thermal efficiency. Fourth one, quantity of fuel admitted and its combustion characteristic. These are the 4 points is very essential to for the identify of power developed by the natural aspirated engines. Coming to forced induction, this is the improved version of naturally aspirated engine. Why? Because forced induction is the process of delivering compressed air to intake of IC engine. A forced induction engine uses compressor to increase the pressure and temperature and density of air. In this type of the engine, air is compressed so that air density increases, then that will enter then push it inside the combustion chamber with suitable mechanism and natural process. So that what happens, the air density increases means mass of air also increases, so that within short same effect volume you can generate more power you can generate. Based on the operation, this type of the forced induction engines are classified into two types. One is superchargers and turbochargers. Coming to supercharging or superchargers. Supercharging is achieved by supplying air or air fuel mixture at a higher pressure than the pressure at which engine naturally aspirates air. This increases the air density and hence mass of air or air fuel mixture inducted for the same swept volume, and thereby increases the power output of the engine. This is the actual process take place inside the supercharging. The supercharge is nothing but method of Increasing the inlet air density is called supercharging. The method of increasing the inlet air density is called supercharging. So that what happens, if the air density increases, inlet air density increases, mass of air or mass of air fuel mixture also increases. Indirectly, the power you can increase the power output of the engine. The power output of the increases is mainly depend on burning of larger quantity of fuel per cycle effectively. This is all about supercharging. And also the point to be noted during the supercharging are it increases the power output of the engine. Supercharging results in higher force. The engine should be designed to withstand these high forces. And third point, the power required for air compressor has to taken from the engine itself. But net power output will be more than the power output without supercharging for the same capacity. The higher pressure and the temperature may lead to detonation. Therefore, fuel with better anti-knocking characteristic is required. These are the 4 points is very essential while designing supercharging in normal engines. Main objective of supercharging is nothing but for a given weight and bulk of engine, supercharging increases the power output. This is important in aircraft, marine, automotive engines where weight and space are considered. Second point, to obtain better performance from the existing engine. Third point, to compensate for loss of power due to high altitudes of aircraft engine. These are the main objectives of supercharging. Advantage. First advantage, power output can be increased 100%. If the air density increases, mass of air also increases, mass of air fuel also increases, indirectly can increase the power output. More quantity of fuel charge can be inducted. The power density increases means more quantity of fuel you can get, so that more quantity of charge you can induct inside the combustion chamber. Better atomization of the fuel. If the compressed means that we atomization character increases indirectly. Better mixing of air fuel mix and air and fuel, so that because of the turbulence more proper mixing of air fuel will be takes place. Better scavenging of exhaust gas, the removal of exhaust gas from the combustion chamber while receiving fresh charge. The fresh charge is coming in the or in a turbulent manner, so that rapid removal of exhaust gas takes place. Better scavenging of exhaust gas. Torque is improved. More torque you can get in this type of the engines. Faster acceleration is possible, so that these are 2 points, torque improved and faster acceleration is very important, because this type of engine normally you are using in marine, aircrafts and automotive engines, especially in automobile means racing vehicles. Detonation tendency is high, so that better anti-knocking characters fuels you are using. Otherwise, if you normal fuel if you are using, detonation tendency may occur. Heat losses due to turbulence. Due to the turbulence, rapid heat generation takes place, so that that heat is directly exposed to the atmosphere. So that better high temperature withstanding material you have to use. Better lubrication is required. Due to that high temperature, if the normal regular lubricating oil if you use, that are burning of lubricating oil take place, indirectly reduce the efficiency of the engine. So that better lubrication systems you have to adopt in this type of the engines. Better cooling is required here also, to keep the engine in optimum level, optimum temperature. better cooling is very very essential. For keeping the better cooling and better lubrication and reduce the heat loss, we required different type of the equipment is very variations. For that indirectly increases the cost of the engine. These are the limitations of supercharging engines. Coming to supercharging arrangements, supercharging of engine by compressor, first one. Second one, supercharging of turbine driven by exhaust. Third one, supercharging engine turbine compressor coupled. Let us go for first one. The first arrangement, supercharging of engine by compressor. This is the schematic representation of supercharging of engine by compressor. In left hand side you can see capital C compressor, then after cooler, then engine that line is you can see 2 is pass after passing after cooler into 3 inlet connect the inlet of the engine. 4 is the exhaust manifold, and intermediate you can see gear meshes with shaft of compressor and output shaft of engine. This is the arrangement. In this, based on this schematic representation, the engine drives a compressor which is coupled to it by using a step of gears. As a part of power developed by the engine is used to run the compressor, and compressor supercharges the engine. Nothing but here partial amount of power is getting from generated. If you consider 100% power is generated by the engine, in that partial amount, free amount of power is utilized to run the compressor. As the compressor rotates to the inlet of the compressor, fresh air will be enter from the atmosphere inside the compressor. Compressing of air will be takes place. Then during the compression stage, some amount of the heat is generated. That one is sent to the after cooler. Here what happens, the removal of heat will be generation takes place, then the compressed air enter into the engine through the inlet manifold, so that compressed air enter into the combustion chamber. After cooler, heat rejection of racing process. Here sometime we can call it as a preheating of all air will be takes place, so that preheated air directly enter into the combustion chamber. That proper combustion of air fuel mixture takes place, so that you can increase the efficiency. You can reduce the formation of unburned hydrocarbons. This is the working of supercharging of engine by compressor arrangement. This is the second arrangement of supercharging of turbine driven by exhaust. You can see the name, turbine driven by exhaust. Turbine is driven by exhaust gas, so that with the help of turbine the compressor also rotation takes place. You can see the schematic representation of this arrangement. You can in that see capital C represents the compressor, capital T represents the turbine. Turbine shaft is directly coupled to the compressor shaft. Hence, if the turbine rotates, compressor also rotation takes place. The connection line, one is the atmosphere air enter into the compressor, two is the output or compressed air coming from the compressor, three is the compressed air coming from the cooler enter into the engine, 4 is the exhaust gas coming from the engine, the exhaust gas directly enter to the inlet of the turbine. So turbine rotates, compressor also rotation takes place. Coming to working in this type of the method, A turbine coupled to the compressor is driven by exhaust gas of the engine. The turbine used in this arrangement is free from engine except that of the exhaust pipe and the air inlet pipe. The power output of the engine is not used to run compressor. This is called turbocharging. The same arrangement also called as turbocharging. See here the exhaust gas coming from the engine entered in the turbine. Turbine start rotates. On that time, compressor also start rotating. On that time, atmospheric air enter into the compressor. Compressing of air will takes place. Then that compressed air enter into the cooler. Here cooling process takes place. Then compressed air enter into the intake inlet of the engine, then to the combustion chamber. After power generation, exhaust gas is coming from the exhaust manifold, then enter into the turbine. This is the process takes place. And third arrangement, supercharging engine turbine compressor coupled. Supercharging arrangement in which turbine and compressor are coupled. This is the third arrangement. This is the schematic representation of third arrangement under supercharging method. See the components, coolers are present for cooling the compressed air, and C and T is directly coupled to the output shaft of the engine, and also the Ford exhaust manifold also connect to the turbine. Turbine shaft is directly coupled to the compressor shaft, and turbo shaft one other end is turbine shaft, another end of the turbo shaft is directly coupled to meshed with gears of the engine output shaft. Coming to working, all components, that is engine, turbine, compressor, are coupled together with gear. At part load, turbine develops less power which is insufficient to run the compressor. In this case, engine supplies additional power to compensate this less power of the turbine. If the turbine is developing more power to run compressor, it can be supplied to engine. This is the actual operation of this type of the arrangement. The fourth method, supercharging method, in which engine runs compressor and turbine develops power. The another method, see here schematic representation of that one. Engine and engine exhaust connected to the turbine, and output shaft of the engine connected to the compressor. The combination of first method and second method. In this type of the arrangement, the total power of the engine is used to run compressor, and exhaust gas from the engine drives the turbine to give power output. Such arrangement also called free piston engine. Sometimes an electric motor drives compressor independently. So here, whatever the power is developed by the engine is taken to the transferred to the compressor. Compressor rotates, compressor compresses the air, then enter into the intake manifold to the after cooler. After whatever the exhaust gas is generated, that will send to the turbine. Turbine rotation takes place, that produces the power. That power you can use it for the other purpose. Likewise, operation takes place. This is normally you can see in industry only, not in automobiles. This type of the arrangement. This completes the first session on Module 4. Summary of this session is I explained the concept in briefly on natural aspirated engines and engine, forced induction engine, forced induced engine, and different types of forced induction engine or forced induced engines like superchargers and turbochargers. Then I explain the concept of supercharging and its objective and advantage and disadvantage. Then different arrangements of supercharging methods.